Hey guys, Rage. Today's video is going to be about how I'm going to save the world, as it were. I make that claim that I'm down here in Miami. I moved down here. I want everybody's support to accomplish that goal. And I know that that's going to be a very edgy thing to say. There's a lot of people who don't think that there's anything wrong with the world. There's a lot of people who justify not doing anything about it because they don't know what to do. There's a lot of people who question why somebody would do something like that. And so I'm going to cover all of those things in this video. First of all, I don't know everything. Far from it. I know a fraction of what there is to know. I'm fairly intelligent, but I don't really have a lot of concrete knowledge about a lot of stuff. I started basically rebelling against schoolwork when I was in 4th grade, and haven't retained as much as I probably should have. However, when I was in Iraq, I did a bunch of research and found that there are dozens of global issues that we're all facing, and they're still there. You know, my goal with the company that I'm going to start and the consortium is to bring everybody together to address these issues, figure out what's going on with them, and if they can be fixed, if we can do something about it, then to pool our resources and our efforts to actually taking care of that. That's my goal. That's the purpose. It's not to try and find fame and fortune. Ironically, by approaching what I'm doing the way that I am, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to justify the things that your standard millionaire, billionaire are going to be able to afford for themselves and justify for themselves. Because right now, if somebody builds an empire from nothing, they can say, oh yeah, I bought this plane, I bought this Rolls Royce, I bought this house, this mansion, this yacht, whatever it is. You know, I can spend $3,000 on a tie. They can justify those kinds of things because they earned that money under the current system. You're also going to have other people who disagree with that. Well, there's people that are starving. How are you justifying that? That's more of along the lines of my thought process. But if they earn that money with their efforts, or they sold something, or if they taught something, or whatever, that's their money. That's the way the current system's set up. The difference between what I'm doing and what they have done is that I'm asking for money from other people to build something like this. Okay, so when I'm saying, hey, I want to start this consortium, if I want to get, you know, a millionaire or a billionaire to join this cause, I'm going to be asking them for a significant amount of money. That's not my money. That's for the purpose of creating this consortium so that we can make a difference in the world. Now, there's going to be so many different opinions. Everybody's going to have a different opinion on what needs to happen. The reason that I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it is because the building is on fire. So any one of these, you know, 50 or 100 different global issues, if any of them get out of hand, they can snowball, and they can really, really damage the planet. They can damage our way of life. They can damage the species. And so, you know, we're on a timetable. Like, we have to take care of this stuff very quickly. There's certain things that are very quickly falling apart, and there's millions of people screaming, pay attention, and there's very little being done in the way of fixing that stuff from my perspective. And it doesn't mean that it's not being taken care of, but it's not being done on a wide enough scale for my satisfaction. And so I came down here to try and elicit Grant Cardone's help. He's a motivational speaker, he's a sales guru, he's a multimillionaire, he owns probably $500 million in real estate and, you know, different companies and stuff. But more importantly, he has mentioned, his message in his books is that he wants to help people. He wants to help people make their lives better, and so that's a very similar goal, if not the same goal, that I've got. So I came down here to try and get in front of him to explain what I'm doing, and to try and get him to be the first person to join my consortium and to donate the money to start this entire project. I'm having trouble getting in front of him, hence the YouTube channel and the blog and all of these other things that I'm doing, but I'm not going to give up. the post that I wrote today for the blog is about commitment. It's about being comfortable failing at whatever you're doing until you succeed. Another one of Grant's messages that I'm learning the hard way, that is very, very true, and it's very important that you find what is important to you. I'm not going to find any fulfillment doing anything else. There's nothing as important as this. If any of the things that I've researched are true, most of them probably are, just kind of the way that they're all tied together, which is really, really terrifying. We can very quickly see our planet turn into a pile of ash, and I don't want to see that. I've got people on this planet that I care about. Most of you probably have children that you care about, and the way that I see it, if you hear that something may be an issue or a threat, it's your responsibility to investigate it to your satisfaction. And I would challenge anybody that's watching this video to give me the answers of any of the questions that I'm going to have. I have done extensive research into this. I don't have all of the answers, but I know that there are people out there that do. My goal is to try and bring everybody together and pool our resources so that we can fix these issues. If you have questions, if you have suggestions, feel free. You know, this is not something I'm going to be able to do on my own. I'm trying to bring everybody else together. I just happen to be the only one that I know of that's willing to go through all of this to get it done. You know, if you feel like you're up to the challenge, then by all means, feel free to join me. Feel free to support me. You know, that's the goal. Everybody has a justification for why they are not helping or why they don't want to help, and I get that. I've been there. Like, life is tough for everybody. You know, for every 100 people that I speak with, I've got 5 that are like, yeah, man, that's awesome. Keep going. Keep doing this. This is, good job. Proud of you. Man, this is awesome. And 95 people that are telling me this is never going to work. People are not like that in Miami. They're constantly getting hustled. You're going to fail at this. What's your backup plan? I keep getting that, but I don't get it. I'm not hearing any answers from anybody else. When you have a positive solution you want to throw my way, by all means. I'm not doing this for my glorification. I'm doing this to help other people. Most of the people that have helped me had very little to give. I haven't gotten any help from any millionaires or billionaires yet. Maybe it'll happen tomorrow. I don't know. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it's my responsibility to try. It's my duty. The building's on fire. I'm in it. There's nowhere else to go. There's nothing else that I can do. I'm going to go find as many people as I can to try and help me put out the fire. If the room that you're in is not on fire and you want to sit there and wait and let everybody else put out the fire, fine. That's your choice. On the other hand, the fire could spread to your room as well. Very quickly, very easily. For example, glacial melt. There are over 1 billion people that live on the river systems that are fed by glaciers. As those glaciers melt and those rivers dry up, where do they go to live? Where do they go to get their water? It's one problem of 50 or more that we have to deal with. It's going on right now as we speak. I don't see any answers floating around. I don't see any major, and the problem is that all of these issues are all tied in together. It's easy to make the excuse, so I don't know what to do. Well, do you have any suggestions? Do you have any ideas? What is it that you think we should do? Feel free to comment. Feel free to comment. I'm doing this because I need the support. It's extremely uncomfortable. I'm sleeping in my car. I'm going and asking random strangers for donations. I'm doing all of these things. I made $80,000 last year selling solar panels. And now I'm living on the streets, essentially, trying to get this done. So, for those of you who have questions about why I'm doing this, and that's why I'm doing this, because it's important. As far as what I'm going to do, I'm going to build this organization. I'm going to get the people who do care on board, and we're going to create an organization that's going to help fix a lot of these problems. And I can't go into any further detail other than that because I can't risk the information falling into the wrong hands. Sorry. There are people that are not going to want to see this happen, and the idea that I've got is one of the ideas that it's first to market. So if I put it out there for everybody and somebody else jumps on board and that's the one that ends up gaining traction, but it's in the hands of somebody who doesn't really give a shit, it kind of defeats the purpose of why I'm doing this. So that's why. You can't get the whole answer right now. If you want to join my consortium, the fee is 1%. If you want to give me 1% of your net worth, that's when I'll tell you. Because that's what I'm going to be asking these millionaires and these billionaires for. 1% of what they own. 1% to fight the 1%. It seems ridiculous and ludicrous to everybody else. Well, not everybody else. To most people. But if you don't have a solution, why are you even asking? If you don't have a solution for it, or even if you're not willing to explore the issue, what's the point? Are you just saying that to see if I really have an answer, see if I'm doing that? Then I appreciate that. Yes, I absolutely do have an answer. It's not something that I just popped off one day. I think I'll move to Miami and lose everything and go down there to try and make a difference in the world. It may seem like that to some people, but you'll see. You'll see. There's going to be plenty of people who are going to see what's going on. And I hope that you're there with me. I really do. I'm really abrasive right now because it is difficult. It's challenging. I'm struggling to keep gas in my car and myself fed, and I'm sleeping in my car. My bills are piling up. I'm getting a lot of resistance. Please don't take it the wrong way if what I'm saying offends you. Those are just the opinions that I have. I'm never going to lie to anybody about what I'm doing. I'm never going to try and mislead somebody about why I'm here and what I'm doing. A lot of the stuff that I've got and who I am is going to be going online. It's going to be posted there. Obviously I'm not going to be posting any of my personal information. Somebody could steal my identity. Not like they could really do any harm to it, but other than that, when I got out of the Army, my sworn statement, that's going to go on there. All of my awards and my decorations. So that basically the reason why I'm doing all of this is because it adds credibility to what I'm doing. The reason that I'm doing this is for posterity. It's so that people can look back and be like, oh, okay, that was the whole purpose the entire time. It wasn't something that was just fabricated and created and released into the world. It was something that I put time and I've put thought into this. Like I've been trying to figure out how to do something like this since I was in middle school and high school. Like that's how long I'm 31. That's how long I've been thinking about this, the better part of 2 decades. And I know it's a foreign concept. When somebody says, I'm going to save the world, they usually don't. And I get that. But it's my duty to try. It's my honor is on the line. I have to do it, because if I don't keep walking down this path, I'll always regret not doing it. When the shit hits the fan, as the world falls apart and as the building burns to the ground, I'm going to have to look at myself in the mirror and know that I could have done something. And you're going to have to make the same choice. If you end up helping and it makes a difference, great. If you end up helping and it doesn't make a difference, probably didn't make that much of a, probably didn't support that much anyway. But those of you that do and it fails, that sucks. I'm sorry. Gonna try really hard for that not to be the case. But if you don't support it, if you don't try and help the world out and try and be a part of something that these are issues that we can't fix by ourselves. We can't. Not even the billionaires can fix what we've got going on. They're trying. There's a billionaire that's giving away 99% of his money. He's trying to fix global issues right now. He's on my list of people to approach. I figured I'd come down here and talk to Grant. As soon as I get an answer from him, then I can pack up and go somewhere else and try and talk to somebody else. The ideal situation would be to get him to say yes and then help me go to these other people and get them on board. But I don't have any control over his choice. I don't have any control over your choice, and I wouldn't want to try. That's not who I am. I value choice more than anything else. I've walked the paths that I've walked, and I've done it because those are the choices that I made. I used to hate it when people would try and make decisions for me. The authority, the people that know better. I hated that because it was never them making the choice for me. It was always them making the choice for them. And I don't agree with that. So I'm not trying to make your choice for you. I'm trying to provide you with the opportunity to help me. If you see value in what I'm doing, if you can believe me, then help out. A suggestion, a comment, a share, money obviously helps out right now. But this is the time when it's going to mean the most for you specifically to help out. Because once I get in front of somebody like Grant, if he decides to help me, your amount of help gets pushed back quite a bit. The impact that it has loses a lot of its value, specifically because he can do a whole lot more quicker than you can. Your support is definitely going to be helpful down the road, but it's critical right now. I need people to help me now so that I can continue working on this stuff, so that I can put it in front of him, and so that I can put it in front of other people that might help. It's not something that I'm willing to give up on. But right now I've got a quarter tank of gas. I've got $2 in my checking account. I have $0 in my wallet. I have $141 in the negative in my other checking account. I've got $80,000 worth of taxes that I have to pay for last year, and like $3,500 worth of, actually $3,500 to pay for taxes the previous year. These are things that I have put off. I haven't taken care of these things because I've always thought that there's going to be just on the other side of the hill, something's going to be better, and those things are going to be there until I take care of them. I've got bills that I've got to pay. I've got things that I've got to take care of, and those are not your responsibilities. They're my responsibilities. But the thing that I'm doing right now is not about me. It's something that's bigger than me. And as I'm going through this, I get to understand who I am. And you guys get a chance to understand who I am. And hopefully this will be a reflection so that you can see who you are. Because the world is still on fire. And somebody has to put it out. And I'm here with fire extinguisher in hand, waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the support. Can't do it on my own. I'm relying on you guys to help me. And, you know, if I fail, well, let me rephrase that. I'm failing until it succeeds. We are failing. The world is burning. And if you don't believe me, do your own research. Look it up. If it's important to you and you feel that knowing what's going on is important, then look it up. Do the research. I didn't come up with any of this. This is all stuff that I heard from somebody else. I read books, I've watched documentaries, I've talked to other people. It's out there. The information is out there. And the what am I going to do about it is not a valid excuse for why you shouldn't at least look into it. Look into it and be like, wow, we need to change that. I don't know what to do. That is a better answer than, oh, because I don't know what to do, I'm not even going to waste my time looking into it. That's a cop-out. And there are plenty of people out there that are going to do that. Hands off. There's nothing I can do about that. What I can do is try and influence the people who do give a shit and who will actually be able to say that they helped change the world. Do I know if it's going to change the world? I certainly hope so. But no, I don't. I can't determine what's going to happen. All I can do is do my part. This is what I'm doing. I hope that you place your faith in me. I hope that you place your faith in humanity. I hope that you still retain some hope for the world, because that's what we need. That's the only thing that's going to fix the problem. Ignoring it's not going to work. For those of you that have children, you're going to have to leave this world to them someday. If you want to put them in the suburban, backyard, can't leave the backyard, eventually the backyard will run out. The world will overtake the backyard. When there's 7 billion refugees, your backyard's not going to hold up to that. They say zombie apocalypse. Well, zombies are undead, but living beings that are hungry are dangerous, and they want your stuff, or they will anyway, and they're going to justify it. They're going to justify, I'm hungry, I'm taking your stuff, and you're going to have to deal with that when it gets to that point. If it gets to that point, let's try to not let that happen. Okay? Questions, comments, concerns, share it, please. Donate. Anything that you can do to help. I am out here on the struggle. I'm out here on the grind making this happen. And you guys will be the first ones to know if Grant Cardone says yes. I'm going to call into his studio tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time to see what he says. This video probably won't even be up by then. The library closed. It's currently 6:45. They said that I would have internet when I left, and as soon as I went outside, the internet wasn't there, so maybe that was their gentle way of saying, get out. Who knows? But either way, I'm going to call into Grant Cardone's office and talk to him and his wife and see if I can get them to understand why this is important. And if I can, you'll find out. And I will thank you profusely for following what I'm doing. And if he says no, then I'll either stick around and continue to try and get him to say yes, or I'll go and try and make my way across the country to one of these other people that can help. But either way, that's the mission that I'm on, and that's the quest that I'm on, and can't give up until you slay the dragon. So hope that you guys will enjoy this video. I'm sorry for rambling. I'm sorry for being as passionate as I am about it, for hurting your feelings. Don't want anybody to be butthurt, but it's important. So wake up, smell the coffee, and I'll see you guys next time.